Namaste Dosto! Welcome to Desified dish! My name is Reiko. So tonight for dinner we're going to be taking a trip to the East Indian state of Odisha. We're going to be making Dahi Baingan. So Dahi means yogurt and Baingan means eggplant. Or aubergine if you're feeling just a little bit fancy. So this dish was suggested by my lovely friend Shafaq. Tajweez ke liye aapka shukriya. Thank you for the suggestion. And if there is a dish you think I should try my hand at, let me know in the comments. Anyway, it's a relatively simple dish and I feel like we can punch up the flavors just a little bit more. And one of the things I'm going to be adding is Panch Phoron, which is a 5-seed spice mix common in Eastern India and also Bangladesh. And I think it's really going to be perfect to get those flavors up there. And I know what you're thinking, Reiko, please stop making these terrible puns. And no, I'm not going to. I'm going to keep doing it. Anyway, chalo, let's cue the music and make some Dahi Baingan.
Okay, so as usual, first things first, we're going to start with the prep. But I better prep myself first by putting on my apron. So let's start by cutting the baingan from our Dahi Baingan. This is a medium-sized eggplant, which I'm going to start to prepare by removing the stem. Then I'm going to cut it into thick slices. We'll keep this aside for now. Now to my onion, and this should probably come as no surprise, we're going to finely dice this like I've done in pretty much every other video. What can I say except that I love onions, so it just ends up in all the dishes. Now to my 2 large garlic cloves, I'm going to just cut off the ends. Now for removing the skins, I'm going to use this new little gadget that I got in my stocking for Christmas. I really was quite skeptical that a piece of silicone would actually be able to remove the skin, but I was pleasantly surprised. Definitely a worthwhile thing if you hate trying to get the skin off your garlic. Now onto the ginger. We only need about 2.5 centimeters, so this is a little big. I'm just going to cut it in half. Then I'll take my peeler and remove all the skin. Then using my grinding plate, I'm going to take my knob of ginger and grind it down into a nice paste. Now back to my naked cloves of garlic, I'm going to stick them in my press and crush them also into a fine paste. The garlic can make friends with the ginger on the grinding plate. Now to the seed mix that's going to give this dish its punch, the Panch Phoron, which literally means 5 spices in Bengali. So into a medium-sized bowl, I'm going to start by adding 1 tablespoon of jeera or cumin seeds. Then we're adding 1 tablespoon of black mustard seeds. Now the kalonji seeds, also known as nigella, we're going to add again 1 tablespoon. Then fennel seeds, yes, a tablespoon. Then to round out our 5 spice mix, I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of methi or fenugreek seed. Now I'm going to place a small plate over the top and give everything a real good shake to make sure it's all well and mixed. This is by far one of the easiest spice mixes to create because it doesn't require any roasting or grinding. We're actually going to be using all the seeds whole. So with the help of the funnel, I'm going to pour all of the seeds into this little glass jar to keep them nice and fresh. Take out 1.5 teaspoons for this recipe and we can put the rest in our pantry. Now to the second namesake of our dish, the dahi or yogurt. Using a tiny whisk, I'm going to stir it until it's nice and smooth. This is half a cup, which should be enough for the one meal I'm having tonight, and I can easily make some more when I'm eating the leftovers. It's looking pretty smooth, so I'm going to add a pinch of salt and then give it another mix so it's nicely combined. Now let's circle back to our slices of baingan. Into a large bowl, and by the way, glass is optional, it's mainly so you can see what's going on. I'll add my eggplant slices, half a teaspoon of red chili powder, half a teaspoon of haldi or turmeric, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of oil. I'm using canola. Now we want to mix our spices and oil into the slices of eggplant, and the only way to do this is to get our hands in there. I started by trying to distribute the spices around the bowl, and then after that started rubbing each individual slice to make sure it had an even coating. I'm happy with that coverage, so now we're all ready to get these shallow frying. Now with the baingan full of spices and all our ingredients laid out, we're ready to begin the cooking process. I'm going to start by setting up some rice to cook. I often forget to actually put on the rice when I'm making rice dishes because it's so easy, but I'm going to make sure I get it done, so I'll do it first. I'm going to need 2 cooking tools for this one. I'll use a spatula to cook the eggplant and a spoon to cook the tadka or tempering. Next I'm going to get out this wide frying pan to shallow fry our eggplant pieces. Now I add a generous amount of oil to the pan for shallow frying. This is going to vary depending on the size of your pan. Switch the heat to medium, and once the oil's hot, we can begin adding our eggplant pieces. We want to add the slices in a single layer, and even with my larger pan I could not fit all of them in, so I did have to do this in a couple of batches. Once the slices are starting to get slightly brown, we can go ahead and flip them over and cook the other side. And that's this batch done. Repeat the same process with the remaining pieces of eggplant. I decided that about 5 to 6 pieces of eggplant would constitute a meal, so I added these into my bowl. Now to throw on a plate to keep them warm while I work on the tadka. Back over to the hot plates, I'm going to add my brand new saute pan. Already in the pan is the leftover oil from frying the eggplant, but I'm going to add some more oil to get about 2 tablespoons worth. We want to have a nice pool of oil to temper our spices and aromatics. Once it's hot, add in the Panch Phoron. It will immediately start to sizzle. I give it a bit of a swirl to evenly cook it, but we only want to do this for about 30 seconds or so. Now we'll add in about 12 to 15 curry leaves and 5 dried red chilies. Again, we'll saute this for about 30 seconds. I know it looks like a lot of chilies, but don't be alarmed. Because of the yogurt that we're adding, it's going to cool down considerably. Now in goes our garlic and ginger. Saute this for about 20 seconds or until it gets lightly browned. Now we'll add in our finely diced onions. We're going to cook this until it's brown, about 5 minutes or so. Lastly, we'll add in half a teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili powder. This is going to add some extra colour to our dish. We just want to roast this for about 30 seconds or so, and after that we're ready to assemble. Back over to the bench, let's uncover our eggplant slices and add the rest of our ingredients. On goes the yogurt, followed by a decent portion of our tempered spices and onion. And for a bit of extra decoration and colour, some roughly chopped coriander leaves. Then on the side, a few spoonfuls of hot fluffy basmati. And now we're all done and this dish is ready to serve. Oh, we're back and the cooking is done. So I present to you Dahi Baingan. Now as you can see, I haven't yet mixed it in, but it smells amazing. The yogurt is very, very flavoursome. I'm getting a lot of that, as well as all of the spices and particularly that onion, as well as I can actually smell the eggplant. Oh, I can't wait to dig into this. But first things first, let's go ahead and give it a little bit of a mix. Because all of those lovely colours are going to just mix in and it's going to look amazing. Oh, look at that. Incredible. So let's go ahead and give it a taste, shall we? All of those spices and that sourness from the yogurt. Oh, it's an incredible pairing. Oh, this is definitely one that worked out amazing. And as you'll notice, I'm actually eating this with rice, which is a pretty rare thing for me. I pretty much always have things with roti, but I felt like this really was better with rice. I think just with all of that yogurt, it's just going to get soaked up really nicely with the rice. So I recommend this one with rice. And you know I don't recommend that very much. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. And if you want to catch what dish I get up to next time, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching Dosto and Fir Malenge. I'll catch you in the next one.